And the minister with the phone, she's still sleeping.
Honorable member.
She's still, I don't know what's happening.
That's not a point of order. Take a seat.
No. The minister is sleeping. You can't say that's not a point of order.
No, Josie,
are you condoning people sleeping now?
Josie,
This station rules the nation. Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. Truth FM 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Bam, bam. Monday morning. Good morning. Welcome to the TBS. The True Breakfast Show. 96.1 megahertz on the FM band. Good morning to all of our listeners. Those of you monitoring us via internet, via radio. This is Liberia's biggest breakfast show. The love of liberty matters, yeah. Let justice be done to all. And that's some of all of us. From Justice in Chambers, Kabina Janet, he said that's a very part I like on you. When you say, let justice be done to all. Good morning, Nimba. Good morning, Lofa. Good morning, Grand Gina. Good morning, Bong. Bommy County, good morning. Grand Kidman, good morning. Bapulu. Sign of Maryline Harrison this morning. Maggie County, good morning. This is the TBS, and I'm sounding so upbeat this morning. Good morning to the two faces. In the runoff, yet to be announced by the Elections Commission. My name is O'Neill. And for the first time, the radio department fully take charge of the TBS this morning. Good morning, Ansu Sirleaf. Ansu is my co-host this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Thanks, O'Neill, for having me on. And I love what you said again. Having been announced by the NEC.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but thanks again for bringing me on this morning. It's a privilege always to sit on the breakfast show.
Yes.
So let me say a very big thanks to you.
Yes. So it's a very jam-packed edition of the TBS. I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I'm going to apologize to David Coach, we can't do the health stuff for this morning. But let's just do the lineup very shortly. Look, from down to the day NEC were announced for the runoff.
Yeah.
Whether NEC were announced the 17th or whatsoever, but NEC have not yet announced as to when the CDC and that of the Unity Party will go into the runoff. But what I can say, there'll be a lot of crossovers, and I mean, these are all Liberians. Don't be surprised. Don't go against anybody for making that decision. We have two candidates in the runoff, right? George Weah and Ambassador Joseph Boyka. So if this person goes to this other camp where he feels that, well, either George Weah should continue for another 6 years, continue what he has started and let him end it.
Exactly. So.
Yes. Then other two will feel like, well, want to give a first try to Ambassador Joseph Boyka. So, I mean, for the next days or so, you'll see a lot of crossing over,
Negotiations are taking place
Yes,
now.
it's going on easy.
It's not easy.
But before we do the lineup, what we want to announce, there are some areas, there are some centers, there are some districts. There will be, I'm predicting, there might be a rerun if next season is necessary. All right. Like district number 12, where you have Jerry Yogba calling for a rerun. Well, district number 2 again in Maserati, calling for a rerun. I just learned in district number 2 in that of Maryland.
Yeah.
District 2. There's a leak audio that came up from district number 2. And Elections Commission is actually investigating this matter. I mean, it's a very serious audio, So district number 2 also, probably I want to put it in a case where I'll say like 85 to 90% because of that audio. And Elections Commission know what I'm talking about. District number 2 in Maryland County. Probably will also have a rerun with that audio. Anyway, good morning to all of you. Let's give the line a shalom. I have in studio Menipeka Dumore of the CPP. Dumore will be with us on the first segment right here until 8:10. 8:10 o'clock, 10 this morning. Marie Eva Donia of District number 1, Mangibi County. She represented on the CDC ticket. She'll also be here this morning. Marie Eva, what we're wrong, well, she'll be telling us. And of course, 8:30 this morning, we'll have District number 3 representative candidate-elect Sumo Moba. Sumo will be with us from 8:30 this morning. Then the last 2 segments will have 2 presidential candidates. Yes. 9 o'clock this morning, Sheikh Al-Mustafa Kuyate from Liberia First Movement will be here from 9 o'clock this morning. Then 9:30, the face of the All-African Liberation League, ALL, Reverend Cyril Besolo Yenti. Yes, the Senate bearer of that party will also be here at 9:30 this morning. A lot of negotiation, as you say.
Yes, a lot of negotiations are taking place, and it's a very jam Monday edition, and something which we want you to as you wake up this morning to get ready for work, school, and the other area where you are going to this morning to start your day. Is very, very, very good that you'll be informed. All right. So the TBS this morning, that's just the package we have for you for now. Straight up to 10 o'clock. Hope you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful time and just enjoy the program this morning.
Yes. So Menipeka is all set up. We'll link up with him this morning from Studio B. And good morning. Welcome to the True Breakfast Show. Good morning to you.
For having me.
Thank you, man.
Oh, the pleasure is mine.
This morning.
Well, I'm doing doing very well. Very thankful to the Almighty God. Once you wake up in the morning and there's nothing wrong with you, you're already blessed.
Mm.
You're already blessed because this is what health is wealth, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So doing very well.
Okay. Great. How's the CPP? You one person who was pushing the agenda of the collaborating political party. Had a better vision that Alexander Benedict Cummings and Councillor Charlotte Brunskin who have been a better president.
Yes, that certainly was my position, and but we have to be respectful of the will of the majority of our people. We made a very strong case for the election of Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings. We do not regret that. We think Honorable Cummings is a fantastic professional who would have brought new dynamism to the presidency, transformational leadership to the country. The voters thought otherwise. And in this system called democracy, the voters are the deciders. And we are not in a position to question their judgment. If the voters look at you and say, my man,
What were you disappointed in the results? I mean, results coming out from Nimba, from Lofa, from Grangeville, from Bapolo, from your own county, Blount County, and not playing Alexander Benedict Cummings the CPP way.
I was disappointed, but I understood it. Some aspects of it I understand, and some aspects of it are mind-boggling. But at the end of the day, you work for, you look forward and you focus on the interests of the collective, the broad masses of the Liberian people. And in democracy, you have to be humble. If you're going to be a Democrat, you have to accept that your opinion can never rise above the voters. So we in the CPP respect the choices of the Liberian people. I think the party issued a statement underlining that point very strongly. Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings is a Democrat, a committed Democrat, and he has always spoken highly of the Liberian people. Respect the Liberian people's choice, the Liberian people's choices, even if you don't understand it. Well, I just stated, I just addressed the issue of disappointment. I said, yes, we had a very high quality team that was prepared to serve on day one. We had a fantastic first 100-day plan. We had a spot on manifesto that was aligned to the issues affecting the country. But the Liberian voters felt differently. They decided to make this a two-horse race. They decided to vote for the sitting president, Ambassador George Manawia, to complete his work, and they also decided to vote for another ambassador, Ambassador Joseph Dumapwaka. And so the voters said, "Listen, you guys are 20. We appreciate you, but we want to look at this
great.
a little more closely." So we were not shortlisted. And if
what was the feedback you got from the camp? I mean, you in a couple of your executive chat rooms are. What are you saying? The CPP after the results that came out, even third place and not playing your way.
I would not be
more disappointing Liberians or what?
No, there is no bitterness in the CPP. I told you, CPP is led by a Democrat. Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings. He's a Democrat, whether he wins or lose. And part of this is demonstrating respect for the will of the people. You alone cannot be wiser than the 1.9 million voters that went to the poll. It is about Liberia. It's never about Honorable Alexander Cummings. Had he said to me, I'm forming a political ticket in order to pursue my personal ambition, I wouldn't have followed him. He said we're building a team to offer Liberia an alternative. And the person serving, if you cook, very nice breakfast and you put it before your son and the president, they don't want to eat that or they don't feel like eating. It is not love to continue to push them. You have to at some point respect people and say, this is not what the people want at this time. So maybe sometime in the future. Our history is replete with great men and women that tried to be president, that weren't picked on the first try, weren't picked on the second try. They kept trying until they got selected. The current president ran twice and was defeated. But on third try, he was lucky, and he got the nod. He got the executive mansion keys, and so there is nothing new about being told to wait.
Great. I mean, if you give me the second time, you take the microphone for you. Great. But let me just take it back a little bit more. In 2017, there was another runoff where Alexander Benedict Cummings were decided not to support out of the candidate, the same George Weah, and out of Joseph Boyka. As an individual, I mean, if this plays, those within the CPP will choose to come up and support publicly. Some will remain silent, but yet are still going for it. If I want to say, of the two candidates, Ambassador George Weah, President George Weah, the incumbent, and that of Ambassador Joseph Boyka, let's look at you. The two options.
Well, first of all, I would
CPP. Yeah,
but just allow me to complete my thoughts. First of all, I will not try to second guess Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummings. He's a wise man and a very capable leader. But as a supporter of the CPP, I am promoting that my political bloc support President George Manuel Weah over Joseph Newman Boakai. And I've got good reasons.
Thank yourself.
I, Menipake Tumoy, son of Swakoko district, son of Patawi clan, and County and Republic of Liberia, do support the second term bid of Ambassador George Manuel Weah over the election of Joseph Newman Boakai. And I'm promoting that view in the party. The party is the coalition, which is a collaborating political party, consulting and conferring. And this intervention.
Now we'll follow why. The more you say, well, George Weah second term bid. Why?
Yes, because we think George Weah, despite his many flaws and concerns, I'm not going to pretend about it. I've been critical of the president over the last 6 years, but you do see a genuine intention to get better. Competitively, the CPP wanted to put forward Alexander Benedict Cummings. That didn't work. And I think the next best option is to keep the status quo and reform the status quo. I am afraid because of symptoms of vendetta that I've seen from the other side that leads me to believe that we will have a lot of revenge under Ambassador Boakai rather than reform. And what is really healthy for the country now is reform. Yes, say what you want about the Weah administration, but they listen and they adjust.
Boyka. Yeah, why Weah or Boyka? I mean, those who listen in.
Because Weah has something he's already built. He a track that he's on. He is improving. We have seen the country has already been through the learning curve. We've already taken, the swallowed the hard pill of the learning curve. Now it's time to benefit from the reforms. And I think if we vote for JB, this country will be distracted. It will go back to revenge. They're coming to revenge Brownie Samukai. They're coming to revenge this. It will destabilize the politics, and it's not healthy. What
you mean if Liberians bring on back Joseph Boyka as president? You said revenge. I'm a little bit confused.
It's going to be more
okay,
and less reform. A civil servant who's student who wants to see the pay structure overhauled will not get that. What is going to destabilize the polity is going to lead to a lot of pressure and put at risk. Liberia looks like a person who went under surgery. The wounds are still fresh, and there's not time to do something very rough. You gotta be moving little bit yet until you recover. So we are fully recovered. This is the first election, I think second election now, post Unmill, or the first election we're having without Unmill at all. And this is the post Blue Heaven protected democracy. When we started, we're like in a little bird nest, in our blue combat. And we just jump out of the combat. So these are early days. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on the political system because of the leadership style We've seen. Don't forget.
She's a real like George Weah. I mean, yeah.
Don't forget the CPP knows Ambassador Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party. We worked together. We worked together to pull off a political surprise when we defeated the CDC in Monserrado. We've done great things together. We've also had our difficulties. And so we know the capacity of Joseph Boakai when it comes to questions of reconciliation, when it comes to the question of working across purposes, when it comes to the question of working with colleagues and bringing everybody along. And so we know the capacity of Joseph Boakai better than the ordinary voter, because we have actually had the occasion to work with him, and the results have not been good.
Online following, all right? You have your reasons to disagree in a constructive way, all right? If you go another way, we'll just block you from the page, where this will be dramatic, all right? You have 20 presidential candidates that went into the race, and there's a circle around. People will take the side, all right? So you can agree to disagree. Let's get back to this one. Why George Weah? Again, I want you to make librarians to understand, because it's the same Dumore at some point in time. He was going back and back on his government. Now you say, let's continue with the devil we know, then the angel we don't know. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, as it stands today, we had 6 years or over 6 years of George Weah. We all had our issues. Some of them, I dare to say, are middle class elite grievances. It's not really what the ordinary man really cared about. And we mistook our concerns for the people's concern. How do I know this? We did the biggest research project. The biggest research project, a set of questions. Who do you want to be representative? Who do you want to be president? And the results of that research was what Madam Davidetta read out. And the result, you can't argue with results. The result says that the plurality of the Liberian people want Ambassador George Weah to continue to have the keys to the executive mansion, to steer the affairs. I do not put myself above the people. A true Democrat must be humble to follow the will of the people, even if you don't understand it. More to that, the alternative to Weah is an octogenarian that's vindictive, that has a track record of undermining collaboration, incapable of working with others who compete with him. The kind of Liberian we fear under Joseph Boakai, it's a contentious one. It's a point-scoring one. Former ministers who worked with him talked about how the VP has a list of 17 grievances that he goes over on a daily basis. This kind of bitterness, vitriol, this kind of what do you call it, grudge keeping, it's not what we need at the executive mansion. There are 5 million Liberian people trying to contribute to Liberian affairs. Obviously, you may one day disagree with some of the things people would do, but leadership demands you to rise above that. Extreme partisanship are some of the things that we fear. Revenge minded. That's why I said this election is about whether we choose Weah, who presents a possibility of reforming the system. Liberia is not perfect under Weah. If we open the phone line, people will tell us a lot of things.
Difficult decision. Dumore.
I would tell you that those things will not be fixed under Ambassador Joseph Boakai because of his political approach. It will be one of revenge rather than reform.
It's a difficult decision. I mean, many people at Dumore, no way to way. You can be erased from the political landscape. You're one of the familiar voices we have around here. What's a difficult decision? George Weah, Joseph Boakai, Dumore coming up. I mean, this going to spark up in the public. Dumore, you say, well, let's stay with George Weah. Let's give you another 6 years. What's a difficult one?
No, it wasn't, because I know the two characters well. We worked with Ambassador Joseph Boakai at the CPP, and we worked with George Weah before. We had the National Economic Dialogue in 2019. What was the National Economic Dialogue? This was a platform for all Liberians to exchange opinions about how to reform the system. And at that dialogue, I saw Ambassador Boakai, I saw there was a paper read from Honorable Alexander Benedict Cummins. That was the CDC showing that they're able to listen. When we worked with United Party and worked with Ambassador Joseph Newman Parker, we don't get that feeling. We get a feeling of arrogance. We get a feeling of snobbishness. We get a feeling of my way, the highway. Unless you support what I believe, then your views are not important. We see it all over social media. We see it. You will see it when you open the line. There will be United Partisans that will call and will tell you, we don't even need many parties. Everybody that mess up with, they get 1%, and that childishness. Is that what we are going to play for? We are very prepared, and we are going to engage I will dial every CPP number on my phone. I will visit every CPP partisan that I know. I will lobby CPP executives. I have a vote on the executive committee of the Liberty Party. I will use that vote, and I will promote the collaboration between the CPP and the CDC. I think that is the way to go. It will continue the progressive forward march. It will continue. It will keep Liberia on a path of reform and progress, consistent progress, rather than the danger of revenge and mismanaged vendetta.
Medipeka Dumoy. I mean, actually blessing up the Monday morning. I'm seeing text messages everywhere. Dumoy opening up on the Monday morning. Yes. Again, I want to say how many reasons. I saw that who did a billboard. It says 100 reasons to re-elect Ellen Johnson was in 2011. David Kuti. Yes. How many reasons to have George Weah re-elected?
Well, I've stated the reasons for my calculation, the reason behind my calculation. And that is to protect the peace, protect the progress of the country. I believe Ambassador Joseph Newman Parker, if Liberians make the mistake of electing him, will pursue a path of revenge, vendetta, bitterness, point scoring. He will go after people and strain the political terrain. Opponents will not feel safe. You hear it in the vitriol and the very dark rhetoric from the United Party, very angry, and they make a case. You look on the poor billboard, they want to have people in handcuffs and what have you. How show we that they will even allow the system, the legal system, to operate? We don't want this overzealous takeover of the state to be used for the exacting of political revenge. I mean, we are confident in Ambassador Weah's capacity to self-correct and to reset and to work with others, because he's done it for the last 6 years. No political opponent is out of the country. I'm one of Weah's fiercest critics. The other is probably Henry Costa, the other is Yeke Koluba, who was recently re-elected in an election that's dubbed as free and fair. And so Weah has delivered a number of things.
In the packet, I mean, it's a great warrant. And I mean, when campaign opens, the Elections Commission have not declared when the runoff election date and when campaign will start. So we yet to hear and now listen to NEC. But the more on the overall, with these votes coming up from various counties, I mean, putting George Weah ahead into the first round. These other political parties, were you surprised? Like Appleton. Yes, the Appleton. I have said Appleton should get on the floor where you'll be going around for a time, just waving on the floor and say, "Yeah, this is Appleton right here." Go on a very serious note of this one. George Weah, Joseph Boyka, Liberians, and someone said when George is on the ballot box, it's a different thing on the ballot paper. 2005, George Weah is on the ballot paper. I mean.
And it's getting better for him incrementally. The Liberians have seen his work. We, the politicians, gave him low grades. The people gave him high grades. They gave him over 800,000 votes to say we approve of the quality of work you've done. When Ambassador Weah was elected in 2017, he got around 700,000 votes. He's grown. He's around 800,000. And so, like I said, And another point, you were asking about decimal performance of CPP. If you look at it closely with you, most Liberians I spoke to after the vote, I said, why do you guys, look our way? They said, man, we felt you guys couldn't win. We wanted to win. We wanted to get rid of Weah. So they voted Ambassador Boakai, the anti-Weah voters, right? They didn't split their votes. If this was a simple majority election, Ambassador Weah would already have been re-elected, correct? But because it's an absolute majority thing, we're going to second round. And so all of those who wanted Ambassador Weah out of the mansion, they gave their votes to Joseph Numa Boakai, but those votes were not enough. That's what we found. Those who voted for other candidates are not that interested in removing President Weah from the mansion. People like me, I was more interested in making Alexander Kumis president than removing Weah. But the voters who actually wanted to get rid of Weah, or who didn't like him, or who don't like him, or who don't stand his leadership style, they're not enough. They're 43 point something. The rest of us who voted for the parties that ended up being the minority parties, we don't care really about getting rid of Ambassador Weah. We don't come to the electoral process like that. We are open to be engaged. We want to know what you do for the country. I mean, Joseph Numa Boakai's entire manifesto is let move Weah, and do what? Tell us what you're going to do, and then show us how you're going to do it, and tell us why we should trust you. This is the time now to make an eloquent argument for the future. But you get them the microphone, push. Zogo were here before Weah took the Oval Office. Zogo is a United Party tactic. Oh, they seize drugs under Mr. Sirleaf government, under United Party government. They seize drugs worth way more. I mean, let's look at the real issue.
Real issue. Medipeka Dumoy. Just use the next 2 minutes to close up. I mean,
but just to say thank you.
I mean, you wake up on the morning. Why say George Weah deserve another second term? Yes.
Yes. Weah kept the peace. He kept the peace. He delivered an election that everybody seemed to be satisfied with. Those are huge feats. And he has an economic stabilization plan. Right now, O'Neill, it's been stable for almost a year now. You may not like the rate, maybe think the rate is high, but it's not constantly changing. So he stabilized the economy. And he has prospects for growth. But then again, it's crucial that he continued to reform. And that's why when the CPP concludes its discussion with the CPC, I am urging that there are policy issues that we need to hold their feet to the fire, with, and we need to push for continuous reform. We need, there are bad apples in every basket. We need to work with the good apples. Just like there are bad apples in every basket, there are good apples in every basket.
17. Well, he said, any of you want to go and support any of the candidate, you think you'll do something, thing, just remain quiet and allow?
I would not tend to be speaking for Honorable Cummins, and I think it would be deeply disrespectful for me to try and second guess him or put him in a box. I respect him enough to wait.
In a majority, what are you hearing from some of your colleagues within the CPP? I mean,
the radical responses are good.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not speaking for the CPP in this capacity. I've not been given that mandate, but I'm promoting more CPP partisans, and I'm not alone.
You're not alone in this work. Okay.
I'm not alone. Yeah. So that's it. But really, thanks for having me, and we'll continue to build ourselves our real life.
So you'll be back when the campaign officially open once announced, right, Nick?
Oh yes, I'll be on a campaign trail. We'll place the campaign.
Do more.
We will. I have promo.
Okay. I'm trusting you're going to reach you in the Facebook by this morning.
Oh yeah, our back is very wide. We are politicians. We're used to being insulted. And,
so why were you being insulted if you choose your side?
Because some people have not much.
This is democracy.
Yeah, in this democracy, they say you used to attack. We are now supporting. I would have done the same if I was supporting Joseph Boakai because I was not singing his praises. It's a democracy. If one woman born here You people are siblings. Whether you like your brother or not, you always got to learn to live and work with other people because that's a family. You're not like a family, but
Yokba, I said this. Someone was telling me Mama Yokba too, me likely John do more in this. Anyway,
okay, I don't speak for
anyway.
my brother. Your boy is a sharp guy. I'm sure he knows what.
The fallback position.
All right. Thanks for
Great. The voice of many Pekka Dumore of the CPP. Well, he said, well, George deserves another 6 years. This is democracy. Those of you commenting on the social media, I mean, this you expect. Ansu, a lot of crossover at this type of point.
Exactly. So,
I mean,
and that's the right.
It's a right. Yeah, no need to insult and whatsoever, because if you do so, there are others who are reading all of the comments. That's the difference you should show. You want a mature leader. You want a mature leader of a mature political party.
Yeah.
So if one say that, well, I choose George Weah over Joseph Boyka, and if you also put up Boyka, I mean, the guys silent readers, so there are people who don't comment, who don't like, but they are just reading. There should be a huge difference, and this will definitely going to play. Yes.
We have two faces.
Yeah.
The faces going to one of.
Yeah.
So that's the right, And
Yeah.
everything is in the interest of our country, right?
Yeah.
So as we said,
good morning, Agosinsa. Yeah. Great. So in the midst of all country first, this is just an event. This event will come and pass and go. But again, but with on the National Elections Commission to tell Liberian people when campaign will officially start for this runoff. All right, great. So we have in studio, she just contested in district number 1, Mangibi County. And that's in Montserrat. Yes, Mangibi County.
District 1, Mangibi County.
Mangibi County.
The coalition ticket that's the CDC.
I love the CC knowing into politics. Yes, when I take to the microphone, easy. So, married Eve Donor is live with us this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to the breakfast show. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is it? How many days after election? So almost 12, 14 days, but 13 days after. How was it?
13 days now.
Maria, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. So, how is District 1 Mangibi County?
District 1 is okay. It's fine. Just there are some supporters a little bit disappointed, but I kept on talking to them because I believe that.
Okay, your supporter disappointed that you didn't win the district. Yeah. Let's learn your own experience. I mean, a very young girl, young lady going through the process, wanting to be the face of that county to represent in the house. Let's see your own experience.
All I can say, first of all, before we get to that, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the people of Mangibi, District 1 Mangibi County, for being very supportive. And most importantly, to the Almighty God for giving us the peaceful election. Whether or not you voted for me, I still want to say thank you for participating in the election and also maintaining the peace. So and I want to encourage each and every one of my supporters that are downhearted, that really made it, but end of life. But I really appreciate everything they did. Some of them had a sleepless night under the sun and the rain, and in the favor. So I just want to thank you so much. Really appreciate to be able to come second. Although there were many fair play, but I'm not here to go for that because I'm more focused on the president second round.
Okay, great. We will get to that. So I was just asking your own experience. This is your first time contesting. How was it?
Okay. My experience, it was good. It's my first time contesting, but I had good and bad experience.
Good and bad. People came closer to you for the wrong reason, for the right reason. I mean,
some people
Yeah.
came
Some
selfish
people came
interest.
for selfish
Like
interest.
where somebody
Like
will
where
come
somebody would
another
come in
camp,
another
they will
camp,
come and give you
they'll
another
come and give
story, they
you a
will
story, they want
do all these different
different
videos.
videos.
Like you know
Like
what
you
I
know what
mean?
I
These are identify with all the
identify with
political
all the
parties.
political
Some
parties, but
people
some
are
people
committed,
are committed.
you know.
You know,
They will
they will
sacrifice
sacrifice
everything
everything they
just to
can
make
just
sure
to make sure
that
that
the
the
results come
results
out
come
good.
out good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
there
there
will
were
be a lot
a
of
lot of
exception,
exceptions,
especially
especially
people
people
that
that
are
are
close to
close to
you.
you,
And sometimes you
and
don't,
sometimes
you are
don't
shocked.
like
You know, for
shock.
example,
You know,
I was shocked
for
when
example, I
I
was shocked when
discovered
I
that
discovered
people
that
had
people
it in,
I confided
they
in,
were in another
they were
camp
in
or they were
camp or they
fighting
were
me, but
fighting me, but
notwithstanding,
notwithstanding,
I'm so happy that
I'm still happy that
at least I
at
came
least I
second,
came
but
second,
not with a
but
wild
not
magic.
with a wild match.
okay. Now with the wild magic, I hope you okay. You're not that disappointed. Your spirit is not that down. I'm a
No,
bit. Yes. Uh
no,
huh.
I'm not.
Only
The
the only
only
disappointment
disappointment
I
I
got
got
now
now
is
is
the
the
disappointed because I was
disappointed
unable to
because I
deliver
was
the
unable
show
to
my
deliver
country.
Okay.
This
show
is
my
why I feel
This is why
disappointed,
I
but
feel
not
disappointed,
withstanding
but
about
not disappointed
businesswoman.
for businesswoman.
And I
And
know that I can be able to
I
sustain
know that I
myself.
can do all the sustain
It's just
myself.
the power to lobby.
Just about the power
Okay.
to love it.
What was the total vote you accumulated from that district?
At first,
Um, at
according
first,
to my sheet,
according to my tally sheet,
I got
I
six,
got 6,000.
but later on,
But later
everything
on,
changed
everything
around.
changed
Your
around,
tally sheet reported
and
6,150.
150.
and 50
You're
I was
stopping.
happy.
Okay.
Yes, and later on, there was some fire being played, and we even went to court with Nick. I think like 4 or 5 days ago,
Okay.
where I had proof that they canceled my vote and share with two persons, and one of them won the election.
So
Yes,
your tally sheet reported 6,150.
150 votes.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Votes. Okay.
And one of the place, I didn't type in that area. That place is called Siwa Palava Hut. Although I have other proofs. And then what they did here, they canceled my votes, gave me zero, and then they divided it with two
On the tally sheet now. But you could argue that through
on the
the
tally sheet.
magistrate.
Yes, yes, just listen. And then what they did, they sent somebody to remove the tally sheet from on the wall. And then I have to pay a lot of money to get that tally sheet just to have my proof to take it to the National Election Commission. And then it was proving that they played, there was a fire plate. All they had to say sorry, and they gave that other portion of my vote back to me. But to go into details with the other ones, I decided to focus on the president
Okay.
second round, because if I'm going to court here, then you're not spending money and spending my time there. I think I should spend that time more on the re-election of President.
Okay, so you have solved the conversation already. You should have a great, claim
Yeah.
of what you actually want to say is a fair play instead of you continuing following after. You have twisted the whole attention to have George we are re-elected. So,
Yeah.
what are your people saying? I mean, this number is a very good number. 6,150 votes.
So for now, it's I think 5,000.
Five
It's
thousand.
something, and yeah, 5,000. It's something. I
Okay.
have to
Have you gone back to those
check
who voted you? I
around
mean,
that.
who wanted to say, yeah, let's Mary be the face of this district? Have you gone back to them?
Actually, I have been calling them, and I visited a few of them, but the district is very big, because District 1 Mangibi County is a bigger district in
Okay.
Mangibi. So it's not an easy thing to reach out
Is
to
it
each and every one of them.
a
That's
lower
why I'm here
Mangibi
this
or upper
morning.
Mangibi? Lower
It's Lower
Mangibi.
Mangibi.
Great. So now you have shifted the attention to Mary Donan was contesting as a representative candidate. Due to some reasons, well, initially earlier on, Leg was announcing you at head and others certain you finished second. What was the matching before continuing? The matching with the guy who top
Oh, I think it was
400.
100.
Great. So,
Yeah.
why George Weah?
Because I believe President Weah deserve second chance. There are so many reasons. There are so many reasons. But I can just give my people few of those reasons why President Weah must be re-elected. Because before he became president of the Republic of Liberia, we all know that President Weah is a humanitarian, somebody who got the people at heart. And everything he has done now, he didn't do it before then. And now he has been delivering according to his promises. In fact, he has done more than what we had expected. If you look across the country, you will see a footprint on the lives and infrastructure. And I believe that we should give him second chance to finish what he has started.
You are a CDC representative candidate.
Yes, everybody will say so, but one thing I wanted to know here is that it's not because I'm a CDC candidate. Only people that don't have eyes will not see what President Weah has done. For common example, if you see Mangibi, we didn't have a military hospital. Our people suffer a lot. They suffer a lot to get to the hospital. Even if in fact it's open to the public, it's not just for military use. It's open to the public. And with that hospital in District 1 Mangibi, is really of great help because health is wealth. Of great help to the people of Mangibi. This is the first of a kind in history. Somebody who called themselves the president of the Republic of Liberia to think about the people of Mangibi. What he has done in Mangibi, no president has ever done that. Yeah. And I want the people of Liberia to know that since 1847, no president has ever come out to say, when your child graduates from high school, don't pay WAS. Nobody ever done that. But some people are saying, oh, this is just a normal thing and this is nothing. Okay, it's nothing. Since 1847, why nobody thought of that? Because President Weah know where he came from and he know what it's it to suffer. He know what it's it for his mother to suffer in the market and be able to pay his school fees. Sometimes some parents does not even have the money to pay for the children WAS. Can you imagine that?
How are you going to make this so happen? How are you
After
going to
he
make
said,
this happen for your end? Indeed, supporting a President Weah second term. How are you going to make this
I'm
happen?
going to
Not
get to
not
that.
only the
I'm
decisions
going
you're
to
going to
get
be
to
making
that.
out there, you have to bring other in terms of opposition, partisans, bringing them on board, convincing them to support our President Weah.
I'm going to get to that, but let me just
What?
finish what I was saying. And now he gave every 12th grade free. WAS free. You don't pay, WAS fee, you don't pay any WAS fee. It's free. Then from there, when you graduate from high school, you go to LU free. Can you imagine that? It was never like that. During that time, we used to pay a lot of school fee around here. People coming to they want to go to college, they can't afford to pay the school fee and all that. Now, President Weah have taken that burden from us. So we see those people come back in government and say, okay, there is money and now you have to pay to LU and your children have to pay WAS. And some people are complaining that rice price has increased since President Weah came into power. It's a global crisis. They should know this thing. It's a global crisis. Liberia got one of the cheapest rice in history. I want them to know this thing. It's not about rice. It's about what we can see with our eyes. The 100-bedroom hospital, the 14 military hospital, other hospitals around, and all the development that you see across the country. President Weah have built a housing unit for the people. Because of President Weah, some of us have the opportunity to even sit here today. We will be able to contest. Before, it was only with the retirees, only people that came from United States of America, speaking series with all the big degrees before they can be given the opportunity. But he's the opportunity to everyone.
Okay, great. Marie actually wants Josh, we are
Just we are.
re-election. I mean, so you're going back with this message to, I mean, your 5,000 supporters. And let me just make this clear. Um, every representative candidates who contested in the elections, all these people have numbers. So negotiation, political party who are negotiating, don't just look at the political leaders here. The representative candidates, senatorial candidates do have their own followers too. People are still yet what's the who
That's
to
a
vote
good
for?
numbers
Yes.
though.
Mary, going back to your people going in district number one, it's not an easy thing to tell them. So let's have Josh we are re-elected. Let's give you another 6 years.
Come again. You said
It's
it's
not
not
an
an easy
easy
thing.
thing. The message you have one or two will say,
Yes,
well, no. We saw
it
your
is.
leadership and decide to vote you,
Mhm.
but not you're not going to decide for who do vote for the presidency.
No, as you can see in the whole of Mangivi, District 1 Mangivi County, President, we are tap that whole
Okay,
District 1
great. So it's
Mangivi
a
County.
consideration.
Yes,
Mhm.
the continuation, and trust me, it's going to increase. He's going to get more number more than ever before because now it's not about me, it's about him. All my effort, my everything, my energy is going to be about President. So on the line of President, we are tapping District 1 Mangivi County is a
And you
showcase.
want to make sure this
100%, I can give
continues.
you the assurance. Yes, I'm going to do everything I can. As I speak to you, I have been having series of meetings with my people, and they are all in and ready to do that. Because all the fire that were played during that time, I'm gonna do everything I can that it will not be repeated.
Number one representative candidate Mangibi County. Well, I'm looking through the database. Yes, Josh, we are top district number one. So definitely, she says she's going to do everything possible. This runoff that he have the necessary vote coming up through this. Going back again, I'm going back and forth with you on this one. You just contested the CDC. How is the CDC in that part of the district one? In
Is it in
terms
which
of the
way?
numbers, they have numbers, and I know, yes,
Yes,
okay.
we
Is that
do.
is that district
Yes.
number one alone? Because district one and two, I think they do have a boundaries.
Yeah, the boundary is
Mhm.
Mokes Town, RIA Highway. Okay.
Extending or just focus on district one to make sure.
I will extend across the district, and besides that, I'm a deaconess in my church, Winner
Okay.
Chapel Church, and we have one of the biggest congregation in 540 Congotown Park Road. So we have branches across the country. We have up to like 65 branches across the country. So I intended in visiting every one of them and try to talk to them. Yeah, not just in the Shawama Gibi County. I decided to extend it across the country.
Are you doing this all on your own, or you have support from the party in terms of from having meeting with top executives and saying yes, keep doing your good work, keep pushing the agenda from George, or you just doing it as an individual?
I'm getting support from the party.
Great.
Yeah.
So, because of time, sorry again, want to announce our listeners. Too much public concern as to why we're not getting telephone lines. It's just we're in the very first. Just for your personal feelings, is the right to support whosoever candidate that will have the better platform for you to go and do so. So, Maureen, in the space of 2-3 minutes, I want you to speak to your people of district number one as you try to close up.
Um, I don't know, trying to close up. Okay. First of all, this Shawama Gibi County, you have been crying for change. I said it before, I'm saying it now. The change is here. President George Weah. You saw what he did in the past 6 years. And if you want him to finish what he has started, you have to vote number 2. Vote number 2. The 3 ways to identify President George Weah on the body bus is the only paper, I mean the ballot paper that got a male and female. You will see the woman with the hair tie on her head, which is the VP and President Weah in put suit, or you try to identify him with the CDC logo, or you can call it the bash, or you check for number 2. It's very easy. Just look for the woman and the man, the woman with the hater and the man. It's come, I think it's November 7th. So I want you to know that
Yes,
it has
yes.
not announced, but I'm
Okay.
just here. Okay. So whatsoever the NEC will announce on that day, just look for number 2 and make sure you look for the man and the woman on the ballot paper. Now, whatsoever President Weah have started, if you want him to finish it, for example, never in history dual zone, for example, had ever experienced LEC current. But as I speak to you, dual zone has 24-hour current. It has never happened before. And if you want it to extend across the country, to be precise, District 1 might be counted, you have to vote President George Manneh Weah for him to finish what he has started. Some of you want him to do more. You want him to pay your children's school fee. You want me to continue doing what I am doing. You have to vote President George Manneh Weah. In the show, we can't say, you know, that we started our pregnancy bag, where our pregnant women get free delivery bag from my office. I started that already, and it will continue. Even from tomorrow, you can come to the office and start to get your pregnancy bag. And I promise to do everything I can in my weak ways to maintain all the good works, everything that I've been doing in the district. For you, don't think that election is over and you're not going to see me again. You're not going to hear from me again. And I'm not going to listen to you, or I'm not going to help anymore. No, it's not going to be like that. I'm going to do everything I can in my weak ways to protect you, to work for you, to be able to deliver this district. Now, I want you to know that everything they are telling you now are all mad propaganda. Those people does not love you. They don't have any good intention for you. The first thing you should ask yourself, they were there for 12 years. What did they do? What are they coming to do that President Weah has not done? Ask yourself that question. What are they coming to do that you know within yourself that President Weah have not done, that they are coming to make the change? They are coming to rescue you, as they said. Rescue what? From what? Ask yourself this question. They are all, just imagine, they already divided government. This is this position for this is the position for this person. They are only a greedy bunch of people that are coming to break the country. You should know that. I always say this parable, and I'm saying it again. If a man is hungry, you give him a pot of rice, he will eat the rice and lick the pan and eat everything up because he's very hungry. But if this man is halfway hungry, he's going to leave the table. That means no matter what, President Weah is going to finish what he has started. For those people that are hungry, they are only missing what they used to have 6 years ago. They are only missing the way they used to wreck the country, the way they used to enjoy all in the big cars and doing all those things and that wasn't going down with the Liberian people. They don't like you. They were there for 6 years. They didn't make, 12 years. They didn't make tuition-free education for you. They didn't make WAS free. They didn't give you current like the way President Weah have given, electrify the whole country and give you LEC across the country. All these things, they didn't do it. During the time when they say they bring in LEC current, the first thing they will do, they will stop on the main road. You have to pay a lot of money before you can reach in the community. But in the time of President Weah, it will reach all the way in your community to your doorstep. All these things, then President Weah does not discriminate. He does not say, okay, because this person is not minister or you are not CDC. No. He treats everyone equally. So I want you to see these things. No matter what, even Jesus Christ was prosecuted for all the good things he did. They are only coming and saying all the worst things. They will even be worse than President Weah. Trust me. They will be worse than President Weah. They were there. You saw what they did. They didn't even rescue their own county. They didn't even rescue even rehab. So even fix the potholes on the road, they didn't even do it. What make you think now they can do better than what they didn't do in 12 years' time? What are they coming to do that President Weah has not done? Ask yourself that question. Please, I want you to be focused and be consistent and make sure that you go out and vote for President Weah, and the number is number 2, the woman and the man on the ballot box. And I want you to know that don't allow anyone to buy your voter card. Don't allow anybody to buy it from you. Don't sell your birthright. Please don't sell your birthright. Please wear your boots, wear your jeans, go to the length and breadth of Liberia in all the loops and corners of District 1 Margibi County, from house to house. And please, let's start the voter education. It's not about money. It's not about somebody coming to pay you to vote against President Weah. Don't do that. Do what is right for your children's and children's future. My motto says, the action you take today speaks for you tomorrow.
Her name is Marie-Eve Donnell, District number 1 representative candidate, and of course it's the breakfast show. Thank you so much. All the best of luck when campaign officially open for the second phase of this runner. Definitely we're gonna have you back. Yes, the voice of District 1 representative candidate who votes this morning on the breakfast show 9641, the heart and soul of Liberia. And just to announce to you, District number 4 in Nimba County, in the 2 polling places, precinct Bill Lotor, and the final results of the October 10th election will be announced on tomorrow, October 24th. So again, it's good that we inform the public. The final results from Elections Commission will be officially announced and close up on tomorrow. But notwithstanding, there are sort of other areas that have issues, and next press briefing will also capture that. And the latest comes from District number 2, Maryland County. All right, I'm hearing there was a leak audio involving one of the ES of the Elections Commission, and that will also be captured in the press briefing from the Elections Commission. This is the True Breakfast Show 9641, the heart and soul of Liberia. What am I hearing from the court? From the court, this is what coming from the court. Criminal Code A has finally released American national Lucas Richey on bail after he allegedly attempted killing his lover Jessica Lloyd. I mean, so a couple of weeks ago, this American national who attempted killing Jessica Lloyd has been released on bail by Criminal Code A. He was released on 4 conditions by the court. All right. So we have District number 3 representative elect. Look, I'm enjoying how the political space is going through. You know, this other movement will come, give the support. I mean, you can agree to disagree. You know, just be mindful of the words, because yet and still, you have undecided voters. There are people who went on election day, they didn't vote for president. There are still who say they think I'm a business, anybody will win at A. So if you want to win people's heart, you should be very, very, very careful as you go about doing so. Those of you who comment, I'm saying it on the social media. If this other person is giving a support to this other party or this other candidate, you can disagree in a civil form. Yeah, people who don't comment, who don't read what they are writing on the social media. Super Mobile is candidate-elect District number 3. Live in, I see the mirror up here, District. Yeah, he said, "Wow, so good morning to you. What happening?
Good morning.
The tension or what?"
No,
But what I
not
mean
the
tension, it's like the congratulations messages just coming in back and forth.
You're right. I would like to tell the people of District number 3 good morning, and the people of Liberia good morning.
Okay, great. How you doing this morning? How's District number 3?
I'm fine, and District people are all happy. Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as I announce your name, someone more is coming up there. I received this text. You say, you mean our lawmaker is coming to address the public. Let's look at District 3. Again, congratulations to you. Nick has said it. Congratulations to Sumo Mobile. Let's look at your vision and mission for that district.
All right. For District 3, the district that I love so much, I think I would like to start first of all. By our core agony that we have reset. We would like to unite our people, reunify our people together because right after the election, we came from diverse political party. And, we need to come together because we only have one agenda to push forward. So I already told my guys, my team, and they are working on getting those candidates that lose the election, so we can have a consultation meeting that we can bring other people on board and we can share ideas to foster the agenda of our district. So in our first 100 day, after January, we'll be looking at making sure to provide Pueblo water in every part of the community that we live. We have 11 community, 52 blocks. We did not attack the entire 52 blocks, but within the 11 community, we are looking at creating station, Pueblo water station, where people can connect from and reach it to their various houses. Then within that time, we have started doing some procurement in the states with the issue of the fire truck and other ambulance to add on to what we have. So we are already working with one person from the states. So there are a lot of things we plan to do, and one of the major things is the agriculture land that we did that last week. Went to Todi, and we hear 2 or 3 persons. We'll be going to a formal meeting with them to see how best we can buy this land. We can turn it into the agriculture sector, which one part of our pillar. Then we also have the issue governing our district college. We already started that with negotiation with 2 other families, 2 lots each, to see the best price, and we'll see whether we can go in to buy.
I mean, you should start out to work already. I mean, that's great. And how do you turn to unite the district? Let's go back to this. I mean, there are a couple of other candidates, and of course, you won ahead of them.
Yeah, we received call from Wanake. He's a
What
great
you
guy.
what you want to call you?
Wanake,
Okay.
yeah, and he also agreed to work along.
Mm-hmm.
And we received call from Isaac. Isaac Clark also agree, even from the Kamo Kofi, Molo Kennedy also.
Okay.
We are all friends. I think we are going to come on board and see how best we can push the agenda of our district.
Great, pushing the agenda. What's the total number of vote you claim for that district as we're announced as representative elect? We know.
8,997. Yeah, votes. Yeah.
8,000. Great. Let's go back to this one. You're not going to run away from this. The runoff. 8,000. Have you gone back to your people, those who vote for you, and said thank you to them?
Yeah, we sent a team because before the beginning, we were already threatened by the Cuban. 1 or 2 occasions, we were been played on to go to Bento. I think I explained that to you. So we are monitoring the way we get outside because when you take Gary from someone mouth, you really have to be very careful. So we send our team outside and I congratulate our people. Thank you, and we also plan to work along with them. We have a party that is coming up, which is the 29th of November. A thank you party where we all will come together, and there we will be showing the blueprint of our district community college.
Great, the district community college. Go back to this, and this is why I say you're not going to shout from this. 8,000 plus people voted from you. This runoff, you need a winning candidate like Sumo Mova into this runoff. I'm talking about what you have President George Weah and Ambassador Joseph Boyka. Have you considering playing a major role in this coming runoff?
All right. Definitely, we have received a lot of calls on our guys out from the 2 runoff political party. And my thing is different. Most often even if you get to the All Liberian Party, and that will not convince me. Uh, you need to come. I don't even need a second party. If Waka want us
Mhm.
support Waka, with
You should
all due
call. You should
respect,
call you. You should
it's our
call you.
father.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we should have a table
If George
discussion.
Weah want you to support, you should do the same thing.
We need a table
I
discussion
mean, so we're talking.
because one of the
Hold
key.
on, hold on. I like what you
Yeah,
have just said.
yeah. Let me talk
Uh-huh.
with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No one. Campaign team will not represent George Weah. I need to see George Weah
Okay.
face to face. They are because when we talk about lobbying, this is where it
Mhm.
comes into place. Because I have to lobby for my people. There are policy I would like to push through, and I also need the support of whosoever that will win. So we will like to discuss face to face with any of those candidates where we can lay down our plight and make sure and just ask a simple question: Why
Okay.
you?
So your
Why
8,000 plus
you?
votes that
Right?
you claim in district number 3, with this
All right.
runoff, if George Weah wins it, you should sit on the table, Joseph boycott the same thing.
Of course, there are
Okay.
a lot of things we need in our
Okay.
district, especially young people. Some of our young people need to be
Okay.
involved. They are qualified. So if I just I do it on the side, it will be like our people will not benefit. We need something where I can see the president and give him my view and listen to his
Mm-hmm.
plot, right? I need to listen to those platforms from our guys. It's not just all about going and telling the people, oh, go and vote this political party. No. Why you? Why should we vote you? I need to know why.
Okay. All right. So someone have just said, well, during the campaign period, I disagree with Sumo more by 100%. But now, since he's elected in the district, we're looking forward to some of your great. Did you promise the people of District 3 that you were going to do so and so thing? I mean, a campaign period, people can say things. Sometimes when you realize, well, I made a statement.
No, no promise
No,
and
I'm just asking. Did you promise an extension? Like, I'm going to do this, capture me for this. If I don't do this during your campaign period?
oh yeah, yeah. I'm one person. I'm people
Mhm.
driven. So I'm looking at the basic need for our people. So my thing is, I promise them to do two major things: to build a hospital and a district college in the district name.
In the district name,
In the
to
district,
build a
yeah,
district college
yeah,
within your 6 years.
yeah.
You promise a district. I'm capturing you for that.
You can capture me.
Okay,
Yeah,
district college,
yeah.
not in your not Sumo Mobile University College,
No,
in the
no, no.
district name, and is it
The
what
district name,
else?
yeah.
In the
In a
hospital,
hospital,
in the
in the
district
district,
name. Wow, wow,
yeah.
it's a big one. Let's go back to this presidency thing. People want to know 8,000. There's a good number there for any of the two presidential candidates. What are you looking for? Again, I'm asking you back and back, Sumo. What are you looking for these two presidential candidates that work best in the interest of district number 3?
There are a few things. One, I'm looking for a leader that is people driven.
Okay,
That's one. Two, I'm looking for a leader that will support the war crime.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Sumo.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's a good one.
I know it's a
Uh-huh.
difficult issue, but
Can
we
you
have
convince other
to.
8,000, close to 9,000 votes? You got in district number 3, the presidential, whether it's George Weah or Joseph Boyka. Can you convince them and say, look, you know what I Sumo Mobile stands for? If you love me, not just for me, for a country, I'll you vote number 2 or you vote number 1.
All right. Convince my people is not something difficult. They believe in us, they trust us, and they know that we are there to represent them. It's not all about us. It's about the people of district number 3. So some of those things that we have online, because uh, when we talk about lobbying, is all about influencing the individual, telling them your proposal, right? So I think one thing will be to lobby. We need a district community college. We need to buy land,
Okay, okay.
right? So if you're coming to tell the people of District 3, say, look, we want your vote, you should be prepared, right? At least you come and say, yeah, we want your vote, but then we could do this for you, right? That's the backing aspect of it,
Hmm.
right? Something for something. Something for something.
The two presidential candidates.
Yes, something for my people.
Something from your
something
district.
for my people.
Okay.
Something for my district. Not for me.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean your district.
Someone could just come and say, look, okay, fine. I love district number 3 so much. So we would take care of the land, right? We're going to take care of your land. And you don't need to give me anything. And I always tell people, I'm not the one that chooses money. If you come with money, definitely I would deny you. So all you need to do is to get there and make negotiation for land. We would do the billing of the
so if I got you right, on super mobile, if Josh I said, well, I'm going to take care of the hospital to build it in your district for your people, or I'll take care of the land. Not to build, not to build it. When Joey, no, I mean for the district now, to build it in the district's name, or Joseph Boy can do the same thing.
Yeah, my people will need your support. All right, go there
and get the land.
Yeah, and we support you because it's like you are giving to the people.
Okay.
Right? You are giving to the people. And what our people need.
The campaign is just in 2 weeks. When NEC will feature announced, it will take 2 weeks. Within this space of time, you able to have the message sent across to your people?
I think everyone listening to True Event, they are getting me now. So district number 3 is not where you come and just go and raw through. Okay. No, we're not allowed that, right? When you come in, you should come prepared. Tell us what you are capable of doing for the people of district number 3 and the people of Liberia Large, right? And we all need to sit down and explain. We have some young guys, district number 3. We have young guys that are qualified. We need them in government too, right? So the thing is, even if you get 1 or 2 of our young people and just promise us, look, when we get there, we will do XYZ. Just be some of your word, right? So at least we have 2 persons from district. And we all will be happy. But I think I'm there to represent the people, to seek the people's interest and not my interest. Yeah. Oh. So it will be a tough one.
We come up publicly and like you're doing so, letting the 2 candidates in the runoff, letting them know this is what district 3. I'm the face of district number 3 now. Sumo Mobile saying, if this happens, will you come out in the public and say, I Sumo Mobile supporting this person re-election or the present presidency?
Yeah, so I'm working along with my people. So any information from that, I will reach them and let them know this is what we have. This is the discussion on the ground, right? And I will get feedback for them. If they tell me, say, look, Smooth, we're going this way, then we.
Is it why people told you to go back, make this public statement, not to just sit in your room and just decide, say, well, let's support this other candidate?
No, we just drawing. We're drawing the boundary. We're trying to make sure that people out there who feel that we can be like play with, they should be very careful. You can decide for all. We are from the district number 3. We decide for ourselves together. Now we're one person will come say, okay, let's take for instance, Osmo is from ALP, he's from the All Liberian Party, so we're just going directly to the All Liberian Party. Whatsoever the All Liberian Party say, then I so say small. No. I represent the district now. I'm from the party, All Liberian Party. I represent the people of district number 3.
You're speaking like a lawmaker now.
Yeah, I'm in their interest. And we should do things in the interest of our people.
So, Mac Timbav, with Patrick Kumaya came and say, yes, I'm qualified also to work in government now. Anyway, because this is from your statement, say people in your district to deserve attention.
Of course. I got brothers. I got people who are qualified, right? And I should be there seeking their interest. It's not like the past government where you have other people who just
it is a demand coming from District 3. Well, it's not demand. If you want us to vote you,
we have dialogue, right? We are open for dialogue, right? If you want us to vote you, do something for our people of District number 3. It's not the past year where you go about giving money out. No. No one want money. They are seeking the interest of our young people. We are also seeking the interest of our district. We're seeking the interest of our people. So this time around, it's not about money. Where people say, okay, we flash money around. No. You will be making a very great mistake. The people of District 3, it's a different district.
This time around. Great. The voice are from Sumo Mobile. Representative-elect District Number 3, Montserrat, counted live with us on the True Breakfast Show. I'm receiving back-to-back. Sorry, I'm not getting telephone lines open up away from the public. I'm receiving a lot of text messages of the same. Let's also more United District. You have to call on all other candidates who participated in the process and see if you can move forward.
For sure.
Yes, in a space of 2-3 minutes, can you close up? So we're looking forward to you. As a wish of these two candidates, you will support a come up publicly.
All right. To the people of District 3, you can rest assured, I'm representing you with my heart. I'm in your interest. So every decision that we will make out there will have an impact on our district. We are not going there because we want to get something. We are going there for the people of District Number 3. So we have been receiving a lot of phone calls. We have been discussing on the ground, but we believe that if anything that is possible, we'll reach you to let you know. We get feedback to see where we will go. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not with any political party now. I'm not supporting any candidate now for the runoff.
So of the two presidential candidates in the runoff, if out of them don't meet you, you just remain silent and people will just vote who they want to vote for. Or you will still come out.
No, if they just stay on the fence, then I will tell our people to go and decide for themselves. Because everyone have the right to vote. But if they come, then our voice will be heard. And I think when we speak, people listen.
Yeah. So let me just read this message before going out. This is someone who supported Stevie Bashel. He said, I'm Eric Sartilla, right from District 3. Politics is not rigging, fire, war, not guns. Though I disagree with Sumo during the campaign period, but I want to say congratulations to him and looking forward to working in our district and reset our district. No, I think this person is for Kumia Camp, not for say to reset. Well, the district not say to reset the district.
Yeah, the reset is an
Eric is from Patrick Kumia's camp.
Yeah, it's an acronym where the arrest.
You have the reset.
Yeah, okay. The reset acronym that we use as our agenda. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like the pillow. So we have R for reunification, we have E for economic, we have S for security, we have another E for education, and T for true infrastructure. Yeah.
Great. Any final words you close up?
All right. For the people of District 3, I just hope your email are all open. In a short time, we'll get to you and we'll tell you for the runoff who we will go for. But as for now, we still negotiating, we're still talking on a cover, and we'll let you know. But remember, we will seek your interest.
Okay. The voice of Representative-elect District Number 3, well, Sumo Mobile, right here on the True Breakfast Show, 96.1
Rapper, Ghost. Hey. When I said light, you said B. Light, B, light, B. District 4, who got a key? Light, B, light, B. Yeah.
True Breakfast Show. Let's get a brief out of this one. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Starting today, why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all.
When it comes to communication in Liberia, Orange is number one.
Orange is the best. Orange is the best. Oh, Orange is the best. Orange is the best.
Strongest network, widest coverage.
Orange is the best.
Fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best. People, Orange is the best. Yes, Orange is the best. Orange.
Guns N' Roses is right here on the Breakfast Show, 96.1, the Hot and Soul of Liberia. This is the TBS. It's climbing up to 9 o'clock. Shall we have Sheikh Kuyate from Liberia First Movement. He's the standard bearer from Liberia First Movement, Sheikh Al-Mustafa Kuyate. Liberians will definitely want to know. We have two political parties into the runner, the Coalition for Democratic Change, George Weah, and the other from the Unity Party, Ambassador Joseph Boyka. There'll be a lot of crossover, back to back, giving support, So 9 to 9:30 this morning, Sheikh Kuyate, who contested for the presidency. Then 9:30 this morning, another presidential candidate, a female, Reverend Sarah Bezala Yanti, will be with me 9:30 this morning. This is the TBS, in the midst of all country friends. Yes, that's how the guys at Bob go about calling me out there now. Yes, country friends. Anyway, in the midst of all country friends, Liberia second, Liberia last, in the midst of all country friends. My name is Oni Roberts. Yes, Sheikh Kuyate. Yes, imagine seeing Sheikh as a president, man. Yeah, man. Sheikh is with me in the studio. Sheikh, good morning to you. Sheikh Al-Mustafa Kuyate, how to get the music going there. And I always say to him, regardless of politics, he and I share something similar. Yes, and that is what we say, loyal we shall ever be. The folks at Mon River College will definitely know this slogan. Yeah, loyal we shall ever be. Yes, the monkey's killer. Yes, unfortunately, my River College brother didn't reach out into the second round, but howbeit, he's one of the most consistent politicians I've ever encountered. Yes, Sheikh, good morning to you. Welcome to the Breakfast Show.
So, my fellow Liberians.
I thought you were going to say fellow monkeys.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. Great. How you doing this morning?
Yeah.
Waking up this morning, Sheikh Kuyate waking up from bed. Probably, I don't want to say having some sleepless night just after going to from campaign period. And you wake up this morning and think another beautiful day God has brought us. Yes, moving on to the streets. Good morning, Sheikh Kuyate. How is the Liberia First Movement?
Liberia First Movement is doing very well. In fact, we came this morning with a special message to the Liberian people to be, saying to our people, at this difficult moment of our history. And but I can assure you that LFM remains committed to putting Liberia first.
Great. Let's say you experience through the process, contesting for the presidency, and then I saw that this is a man who had a very good vision for our country. But Liberian people said, well, Sheikh, you still have age in your favor. This is not your time. And the election results went that way. Let's hear your own experience.
Great experience for me.
It was a great experience for me. Contesting election where we have over 5 million Liberians who's elected among 20 candidates. Among those 20 candidates, Liberia First Movement was represented by me as a servant charge and presidential candidate. And with the campaign that went on, we were not that active as compared to others due to circumstances beyond our control. But we remain very consistent, very committed to the process. believing that we cannot have a Liberia that we dissolve through division, believing that we cannot have the Liberia we dissolve through hate, believing that we cannot have the Liberia we dissolve accept our times, though we are all aware with some discrepancies with the electoral process. But Liberia comes first, and we cannot do anything above Liberia. We must do everything possible in our weak way to maintain peace and stability, even if it costs us to lose personally. But the interest of our country remains a priority for us. And only if you give me a few minutes, I would like to speak to Liberians directly from here. Yeah. Thank you. Partisans of the Liberia Rights Movement, members of the press, distinguished guests, our international partners, fellow Liberians. Today, I, Sheikh Ali Mustafa Kuyate, presidential candidate and server in charge of the Liberia Rights Movement, come before you with a sense of humility and respect as we acknowledge from the National Election Commission the outcome of a recent presidential election. It is with great honor that I extend my sincere concessions and congratulations to Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Boaka Sr. of the Unity Party and His Excellency President George Maniwia of the Coalition Change for qualifying for the runoff. I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to every presidential, senatorial candidate who participated in these elections. Your commitment, dedication, and sense of responsibility have played an integral role in ensuring a peaceful and democratic electoral process. Each one of you has contributed to the vibrant political landscape of our nation and should be commended for your efforts. To the supporters of the Liberia Rights Movement and the Liberian people as a whole, I am immensely grateful for your unwavering support and dedication to the betterment of our beloved country, Liberia. Your voices have been heard, and your commitment to change and progress has resonated deeply throughout the nation. Your passion and unwavering commitment to justice, good governance, and human rights have been the driving force behind the Liberia Rights Movement. Fellow Liberians, the results of election have shown that over 55% of Liberians are opposed to misrule, injustice, corruption, incompetence, and other forms of malgovernance that have plagued our nation. There is a clear message that demands our attention and action. The Liberia Rights Movement remains fully committed to promoting democracy by upholding values of good governance, justice, and human rights. We will continue to fight against all forms of injustice and work towards building an inclusive Liberia where every citizen is given equal opportunities to contribute to the progress and prosperity of our country. Fellow Liberian, I also want to take a moment to express my gratitude to the National Election Commission for their efforts in conducting a free election. Despite the challenges and discrepancies that may have arisen, the NEC has played a crucial role in ensuring the integrity of the electoral process. We acknowledge their hard work and dedication to upholding democratic principles. As we move forward into the runoff, I urge Ambassador Joseph Nyuma Sr. and His Excellency President George Manuel to embrace the spirit of unity and collaboration. Let us put aside our differences and work together for the betterment of Liberia. Our nation deserves leaders who can rise above political divisions and prioritize the welfare of other people. To all Liberians, I want to express my deepest gratitude for your active participation and engagement in this democratic process. Your voices matter, and your votes have shaped the course of our nation's future. Together, we have demonstrated the strength and resilience of our democracy. May we approach the runoff with unity, respect, and a commitment to peacefulness. Let us remember that our shared goals and aspirations are far greater than any differences we may have. Together, we can build a Liberia that we can all be proud of. Together, indeed, Liberia can be a great nation. Our generations upon generations will forever remember us for our stance at this difficult time. Thank you, and may God bless Liberia.
This would have been a very good inauguration speech. You won't agree with me on this one. This will be a very beautiful piece to your inauguration.
Only we, Liberia First Movement is committed to Liberia. That is why our vision is very clear. One Liberia, one people,
one Liberia,
indivisible,
one people,
with liberty, and justice for all.
And justice
no matter who is in this race, we will always prioritize
we will always prioritize nation.
We will always prioritize the interest of Liberian people. We will always prioritize the interest of Liberian people.
We ensure that the work of our people will not be dashed.
Great. So one thing I captured from this speech, you make mention of President George Weah and President Joseph Boyka. I mean, in the interest of all, I mean, country first.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's what I considered to both of them, and I congratulated both of them because both of them have qualified for the runoff. So they raised 18 candidates. I also want to use this medium to say to the congratulations. They play a major part.
They play a major part.
Through them today.
It is through them
that we have a runoff.
Great. Check out Mustafa Quia to Liberia First Movement. I'm saying I'm getting back, coming back to back. So, well, this will be a very beautiful inauguration speech for Sheikh Kouyaté. But Mr. Kouyaté, I mean, you still have this vision for your country, Liberia. I mean, you one politician, I want to say they're very consistent. Have you reached to the table now? Well, two candidates now in the race where you have to choose. Is the party come up for a decision yet? Or is the CDC calling you? Is the Unity Party calling you? Have you received call for any of them?
Yes, indeed. Liberia First Movement has received calls from both parties, and we are in discussion with both parties.
And our party is having meetings today
and up to Wednesday.
Hopefully, in the course of this week, we will make a commitment.
One of these parties,
in the interest of our country, in the interest of Liberian people.
Okay, not you deciding alone as a standing bearer from that party, but the party in total have to decide.
And that's why we have consultation meetings today and onward this week. And we are very hopeful that when National Election Commission announced the runoff, or before that time, we'll be able to pledge us.
Great. So you promised the Liberian people that Sheikh Kouyaté Liberia First Movement will announce whether George Weah for another 6 years or give Joseph Boyka and give him support.
can assure the
We can
Liberian
assure
people
the Liberian people that Liberia First movement will not remain silent
at this difficult times. We show to
speak
take a
out
side in the
and take
interest
a
of
side in
Liberia,
the interest of
not in
Liberia,
the interest of any
not in the interest of any
personal interest, but in the general interest of our country and our people.
Let's look at your journey. I'm going back to you because this you won presidential kind of like I said the same to with one. You spend most of your time I mean in you are in Mangibi, you are in Bon County, you are in parts of Lofa. Look at your own energy, your strength going back and forth. In times to come, which Shekwiate still wants to see whether you could make a very good leader for her country.
I am hopeful
that when Liberia First
movement
nominate me or elect me once again as a presidential candidate, that we will win the election. Our defeat at this time, I do not see it as a defeat.
I do not see it
as a trial.
I see it as a trial.
And I think it's the most important experience anyone can have. One who has experienced two times. That person is more experienced than one who has been elected. And I can tell you for sure that we know we have understand the situation now in our country. We know what it is about. But most of our supporters have been very clear with us from the initial stage. They say to us that yes, we have the best platform. Our vision is very defined. But they want to have someone from opposition, or they want to have someone from the ruling party to continue with change. Instead of our party, the Liberia First movement. And that is why you realize that most of those who were supporting us,
they decided to vote for, the two parties or candidates that have been introduced to Liberian people today in a runoff. So this election was not actually about ideas, but it was about people anger. It was about it was about emotion, and people want to actually show things sentimentally. But I can tell you for sure that we will
second round in this runoff, we will not be sentimental in making decision. We show to consciously.
So you're not in no rush. You are not. Your party is not in rush. Despite you have received calls. Is this a roundtable setting? Yes. What do you want? What sort of Liberia do you want of the two presidential?
The position Liberia First movement wants is a position where we can see our citizenry reconciled,
not to be seen identified by party, religion, tribe, or another sect. We are looking for a position where empowerment become a priority of the government. We are looking for a position where accountability becomes a priority of the government. We are looking for a position where development becomes a priority of the government, where the health sector, the agriculture sector, the mining sector, the educational sector, security sector, that all of those sectors can be touched and they can be in the interest of our people. So our concern is not about what position it gives to us as party or as individuals, but we want a position for our nation. That is why we want to see a reconciled Liberia. We want to see an empowered citizenry. We want to see an accountable government. We want to see a developed and a develop-oriented country.
What the other thing on mind? What the other thing running on mind in terms of one of maybe what the other thing of what they got taught a shake?
Yes, what we are looking at, the two parties that unveiled, for the runoff, these two have tested power, and the two candidates also have tested power somehow, and we have seen what they have done yesterday and day before yesterday. The choice is the Liberian people, and we who were selected or elected by Liberian people as candidates in these elections, the 18 candidates apart from 2, make it 20. It is our responsibility to prevail that the hope of the Liberian people is not dashed. We must do everything possible. That is why since the election, and in consultation with one another, all presidential candidates have been speaking, have been thinking the way forward. It is not about just supporting president, support someone because they have qualified for the runoff. But we want to ensure that when we give support, it should be a commitment to moving our country forward. It should be because our president in these elections It's not just for personal interest. It's actually for the state. Because the election was not about contesting to become president of a tribe, was not about becoming president of a religion, was not about becoming president of a set, was not becoming president of our age, was not becoming president of status, it was becoming president of the state, Liberia. So our quest is to ensure that Liberia is put first in all of our discussions, and I can show you that Liberia First movement is committed to Liberia First.
Yes, Kishak, you want to say that with me in the midst of all, in ups and downs, all of your political struggle, everything,
in all the challenges, in all of the difficulties, Liberia First. That's why we are the only party in this country that is referred to as Liberia First movement. Yeah.
To announce when campaign will officially open to the public, and as to when Liberians will go back again to decide whether it's George Weah or Joseph Boyka. Of the two candidates, what is your party saying to you? I mean, you're not coming as an individual. What are your people saying to you?
My party, my young party, but it's one of the most respected party in this country. The party is in consultation. They are discussing. They are in discussion. You know, ourselves as a servant in charge, meaning the official spokesperson of my party, this being its presidential candidate, and I'm listening to our leaders and members of the party, and I can assure you, on the and the Liberian people, that Liberia First movement will make a decision in the interest of Liberian people. Will make a decision that Liberian people will not lose confidence. We'll make a decision that will also display our presence in the electoral process. We'll make a decision that will ensure that indeed hope is alive.
Yes, negotiation is on the way. This is presidential candidate Sheikh Kuyate from Liberia First Movement. Liberia First Movement presidential candidate. Live with us. Are you taking into consideration those who contested on your party tickets? Are going to be part of the decision, not an individual decision. Who will say yes, like what I'm hearing. Take for example in the LPP, I'm hearing, but even though they try to trash it out, where maybe the VSB is been linked to this side and the SB is also been linked. Are you taking into consideration those who contest on your ticket? What is your vice president who ran on your ticket as well? Are going to be part of the decision.
As I speak to you now, the vice standard bearer, who happens to be my good friend, Dr. Vagbele, the chairperson of our party, Honorable Tobat, Lady Tobat, and other leadership and members and those contested, in the past elections for legislative positions, they are all now being assembled at the party headquarters. And awaiting my arrival, where we have a meeting shortly. And I'm very hopeful that we will come to a conclusion in the interest of Liberian
people. So let me drill you. I just had Representative District 3, Representative Lesumo Moba, who said you don't want a phone call for no second party. Okay? It's either George Weah to see him one-to-one or Joseph Boyka, otherwise else he's not going to tell his 8,000 and close to 9,000 those who voted in District 3. Are you going to do the same thing? Maybe there's a middleman. We just say, yeah, Sheikh, we want you to support the leadership party. Or Sheikh, give your support to the CDC.
The two runoff political parties, one has contacted us directly. There was no middle person of that party. Another sent a middle person to contact us, where we also had a discussion with them. But we do not care whether middle or non-middle. Our major concern is what is there for Liberia will be prioritized. We ensure that to maintain the peace and stability of our country. We also ensure to protect democracy of our means, to ensure free, fair, and credible election. And that is our course, and that is our commitment to Liberian people. So Liberia First movement will do everything possible in this weak way to ensure that Liberians' hope is undashed.
Real hope isn't that. A few players in the core. I mean, to other presidential candidates, or maybe you have received a call and said, well, check, let's form this thing. Let's give our support to George, we are re-election. Let's go to the party. How is it like? How's the coordination like?
When you interesting is that every political party or every candidate that took part in these elections are all important people. In this second round, this runoff of candidates just need one vote. It is not a percentage. It is not a region. It is not a community. It is just and all of those are contested. I've agreed that there's a need that we sit on the table as candidates to assure our people, the Liberian people, that we're not just in a race for ourselves, to commit ourselves to this process, to provide some consciousness, to provide some leadership to our people by telling them that, yes, we didn't win or I didn't win, but we think that we should go this way. And that will be done based on after our party has concluded its consultation. And when that is done, then we, the leaders, based on the party position, will also meet as candidates to also see how we can also convince one another to have a dialogue where we'll be able to support a candidate that will be in the interest of Liberia and the Liberian people.
Great, a dialogue. I like what you put it this time around. It's not about percentage. It's the highest number will win. Yes, the highest number. Sure. The higher all will definitely win. Great one. Check we out there with us on the Breakfast Show, 96.1, the heart and soul of Liberia. It will be a difficult decision. I mean, your agenda was different from the Unity Party. Your platform was different from the Coalition for Democratic Change. Now, coming up to say, well, I want to support George. We are re-election or perhaps Joseph Boyka. I mean, look at your platform. I'm reading through what you have with me, two different platforms. The agendas are all different. What's the decision you decide to come up with?
I can tell you for sure that we might have differences in our platforms. We might have differences in our agenda, but we all have a common goal, that is Liberia. And I do believe, no matter the differences of our agenda or platform, we can compromise that in the interest of Liberia. And that is why Liberia First Movement remains committed to ensuring that Liberians, that Liberia remains a peaceful nation, to also ensure that Liberians' votes are counted, validated, and given a very good result where they can have a president represent them. Let me also tell you something. Liberia does not need a partisan president. None does Liberia need a religious president. Neither does Liberia need a tribal president. Nor does Liberia need a sectorial president. Liberia needs a Liberian president. And we will be supporting any individual based on the issue of Liberia, based on putting our country first, ensuring that this country remains one Liberia, one people, indivisible, liberty and justice.
Just draw you quickly, Sheikh, with this one. And I'm sure at the end of the day, probably like for those who listen up to the radio, okay, may definitely draw you from it. Will be an easy decision. To say Liberians, Liberia First Movement have decided to support Ambassador Boyka. Will also be an easier decision to say, well, George has started something 6 years ago. There is a need that he continue for another 6 years. And your colleague listening to you, Robert Bessel, you're almost in here. So, yeah, let's hear you, Sheikh.
I'll tell you something. If in fact the results of the election was something very difficult to accept, knowing very well that we have the best platform, we have the best vision to move our country forward. We accepted the result, knowing very well the numbers that were given to us were not the actual numbers we got. But we accepted the result for the sake of Liberia, for the sake of peace and stability in this country. It is also a difficult decision to choose among two candidates whom we have never believed that could make a difference.
Yeah, but you did these two candidates in the runoff. Check, we have to have a lash at them.
Whom we have never believed that can make any difference in this country. But if you have to make a choice between two in the interest of the country, we will always do our best to go for the lesser evil, no matter the situation. But we hope and pray that Liberians will begin to choose between good and evil instead of lesser than good and evil. Fellow Liberians, Liberia First movement remains committed to the democratic principles of this country. We want to assure you that your votes for us was never in vain. We will support our party in the interest of Liberian people, in the interest of Liberia, for the far march of our country, to ensure that this country remains a glorious land of liberty. We also want to let you know that we had elections, but elections do not mean division. We must do everything possible to embrace ourselves as one Liberia, one people, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Liberia First movement political leader on the breakfast show. Let's get a brief out. When we'll come back, well, we'll bring you another presidential candidate. Well, Reverend Sarah Yanti of the All African Liberation League. This is the TBS in the midst of all country force. My name is That's a nice music answer. This song, man.
The energy in this song, and I always tell you that I say that this song gave me a picture of where I see Liberians, white handkerchief or white towel, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the midst of all.
In the midst of all.
Country fries.
Country fries.
Country fries. Great. Folks, we have the phrase from the ALL. The African Liberation League. Well, Reverend Sarah Yanti live of us on the True Breakfast Show on 96.1. Good morning to the folks in Lima County. Truth 96.9 carrying us live. Saclapia, good morning, folks in Banse. One of these days they'll hope to see me. It's a nice one.
Right.
Yeah, so we have in studio the face of ARL. Reverend Sarah Yanti live of us on the True Breakfast Show. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Very okay. I like the song that was playing before I came in.
Oh yeah, oh the Tiwe. Great. How is the ALL, the African Liberation League?
The African Liberation League is fine. We are all fine, and we want to make sure that Liberia is fine. And I really like when you were giving the overlay in terms of Liberia first, because that is what we believe, also Liberia first, and we are more focused on the process and the people, and making sure that we continue to put Liberia first to sustain Liberia's peace.
Let's say your own experience. I mean, you came to this race, a very good brand. Well, Liberians would say, well, let's have another female president. Right? Let's say your own experience during the campaign period.
My experience was, I would call it wonderful. And I call it wonderful because the opportunity that I had to go to different counties, go to different villages, many of which nobody had visited. I definitely was the only woman that was seen on the campaign trail. I was and one of my colleagues, I was the only person that had been there. And they said that you had already been there. You only been listening for 3 months. How you got to that place? But for me, it was a wonderful opportunity just to refresh my understanding of what the issues are. I had seen enough. I'd been in different communities, and I knew enough that I thought was sufficient to inform of the African Liberation League. But being on the campaign trail even strengthened that, and hearing directly from women and youth, it was a fantastic opportunity to engage with communities, to engage in rural areas, and to see firsthand the challenges that people face and the issues that need to be solved. And so the campaign for me was good, and I continue to look forward to all of together to strengthen our democracy, to strengthen.
Well, I don't want to tell you this was a disappointed one. And when the results start to announce, Sarah Bezalel, it's a good brand. She'll work in the Yemen, in the Nepal. These are very difficult countries. She work with the UN, pushing the flag of the world out there, coming back home, and the result just go that way. It was a disappointed one.
Look, at the end of the day, nobody enters into a competition to lose, right? So I believe everybody came to the table with the same perspective of wanting to win and putting their best foot forward. We did that. We put our best foot forward. We worked very hard. And at the end of the day, the people made choices. But notwithstanding, the system is not what it's supposed to be. The system is not strengthened. The system requires reforms. And it was good to be a part of this process in order for me to be able to help to build the systems required for a strengthened democracy. We need to work to strengthen NEC. We need to look at all of the challenges that we're facing, and that's why I recommended in my statement that we should partner with NEC. We need to be working with NEC to make sure that we learn from the round one experiences. My recommendation is that all candidates should be called to the table, speak about the issues we saw in the field, to speak about the irregularities, to speak about the concerns that are out there, so that we learn from round one to inform round two. And ultimately, everything is said and done, we need to have a full performance audit of the 2023 election, so that 2029 will benefit from the from 2023. Otherwise, we're not improving the system. For me, I'm a systems builder, and I'm really concerned about us strengthening our electoral system, making sure that we do a review that will inform electoral reform. Make sure we look at how we reform look at the laws, the electoral laws, and what needs to be adjusted, what needs to be updated to reflect the current realities. So for me, I have gained a lot of learning, but I also will not stop learning. And including in round two, I intend to continue to work on the initiative of Protect the Vote. I initiated that during the campaigning. I won't say it didn't work, because we had a 9-point agreement in the MOU, and 2 of the points were carried forward. 2 of the points were implemented. We established a secretariat. The secretariat worked on all of the plans and the budgets, and so for the secretariat function. Also, the point on ensuring that we work together in terms of advocacy, engaging the international community. We did that. I led on that, organizing meetings with the international community where all of us sat together at the table and expressed our concerns. So a lot of things together, but we didn't do the critical pieces on the poll watching, and that's where we fell short. And I will not go into why short, but it did fall short, but it's not late.
Let me bring it back to this. I mean, prior to the campaign period, you came up with this brilliant idea. Protect your votes. You know, political parties should come up and sign up with this MOU. And there are some political parties that showed up. Are you disappointed? Again, I'm saying they didn't materialize. All political parties, the opposition political party, was just after their own votes coming out.
So the first and foremost is the understanding of protective votes. I don't think was as deep for everybody. I don't think everybody understood how critical it was for us to come together to show that every polling station had a representative of these parties. I don't think everybody understood that everybody needed everybody, but also at the same time, this is new in our politics. I'm an anomaly in our politics, and this kind of thinking is different in our politics. It hasn't been done before. So it's a starting point, and we started, but we have to continue. The reality is that people took for granted the value of us doing the protective vote. They took for granted the value of us coming together. And I think now, more so than ever before, people understand it. And we've been having a lot of meetings. I've met the signatories to the MOU. I've been able to convene meetings between us. I've also been able to reach out to those who were not signatories, who are interested, as well as to Mr. President. I met him last week as well, just talking to everybody about the need for us to work together to protect the vote. Let me tell you why it's important. Let the Liberian people understand this. A lot of doubts and skepticism. We have over 100,000 invalid votes. That's unheard of in terms of proportion. It's unreal. We need to understand what those invalid votes are. We need to look at, we need to review them. And ultimately, people don't feel that many people don't feel that the results they're hearing reflect their expressed desire. Now, going to round two, we need to make sure we're coming out of round two, have neutral voices that can be able to say we were at the polling stations. We also saw the vote, we saw the counting and so forth, and then be able to add a neutral voice to the National Elections Commission. And that's what this is about, the protective vote. So we do it for round one, we need to do it for round two. And so I've been talking to everyone and saying it's important that they feel that there are people there. Well, we're here in November 7th, so when they get up in the morning for round two, that they can go to the polls knowing that other parties who do not have a personal or personal stake, that they will be part of a process to ensure that when we get the results, we all own the results. It's in everybody's interest for us to do that. It's not something we've done before as a people, but we need to start doing things differently. Doing things differently will help us, because when you continue to do things the same way and you continue to get the same results, nothing changes. So we need to be embracing new perspectives and new approaches, and protective vote is one of those. And so I'm just calling on all political parties who want to be a part of this to this and see how we work together to add that additional layer of monitoring and speak with the neck and so forth, so that we do that. And we even if we can't do it in every single county, let's start something that will give Liberian people the confidence that their votes, when they cast their votes will be protected. Because there's so many theories out there about what happens with people's votes, and we need to be working to strengthen the system. We can't sit on the outside and be criticizing, so we need to be on the inside and help to.
And that's part of the election that didn't play away. Do you turn still working with your number working in Liberia?
Well, if I didn't intend to, O'Neill, I wouldn't even be sitting here this morning, right? I already issued a statement. So I want to confirm. Intents and purposes, for all intents and purposes, if I was one of those candidates, I wouldn't be on the station talking about protective votes, and I will continue to talk about this, because it's from a human rights perspective. It's for people to be able to exercise their choice and ensure that their choice is counted. And so for me, this is, I've always said this, and I'll repeat this. I've always said this is not about position and power. This is about a process and the people. How do we strengthen our democracy? All of us who have capacity and have experiences coming together to strengthen Liberia. It's in our interest to be a part of the solution, not to only be the ones crying about the problem. So I want to be part of the solution, and I want to be a part of that for round two as well. And because somebody will say, "But you don't have a stake. You're not contending. You're not one of the two that are going to round two." I have a stake because I'm a Liberian. I'm a Liberian who has experience, who is aware that if we don't work together to do some of these things, it would threaten our peace. It will undermine our peace. And so we need to do everything we can to ensure that the people of Liberia feel confident in the electoral process, so that when the results are read, that we all own it and we move this country forward.
Great. We need to move Liberia forward. And now we have two political parties that have been into the run of the coalition for democratic change, that of President George Weah, incumbent, and that of Ambassador Joseph Boykai. What is the All Liberian Liberation League saying? Are you thinking of these two political parties into the run? Have they reached out to you and say, well, Reverend Yenti, we need your support. Tell your partisans, well, that the ALL have given a full support to the CDC or that of the Unity Party. What is happening? Are you getting this kind of engagement, or nobody's reaching out to you? That's just one of it.
So let me say here that I've been reaching out to everybody on the issue of
reaching out
on protect the vote. On the protective vote, because for me this is more important than whether you endorse one or the other. How do we show when people vote what they've expressed in their vote is what we get out at the end?
That's not what they're looking for.
Right, but
okay, that's what they need. But that's not what they're looking for.
That's what they need.
They are looking for
many things, but what they need.
Yenti should say, well, the ALL have given us support to the CDC or the Unity Party. Then protecting your vote.
At the end of the day, the focus I have had since October 11th has been looking at how we continue to work on advocating for protective vote, and how we continue to work on strengthening our electoral system, so that when the votes are read at the roundoff, after the runoff, that we can feel confident and we can mitigate any risks of chaos or people expressing their views in ways that are not the legal pathway. For me, that's what's important right now. It's making sure we strengthen our democracy through this approach. I know that people are looking for somebody for people to endorse one or the other, but that's not paramount right now. What's paramount right now is securing our peace and making sure that we strengthen the electoral process, so that round two is a round two that we go to and come from with confidence in the system, and helping to build the system so that we have that confidence. I'll be meeting the ECC today. I plan to meet NEC, and I plan to take forward the recommendations that I've made. So those discussions are happening. Yes, people have their views about one candidate versus the other. At the end of the day, we're a small country, small society. People know people, and so forth and so on. So people are having those discussions. My discussions are about protecting people.
On the other hand, having said all of that, have you received call? I mean, I'm back to this because now with this runoff, it's about number. The highest number wins. I've received this call, maybe from the CDC or the Unity Party, or what is the intention of ALL? Are you going to support out of the two candidates, or you just continue to work on protect your vote, work with the Elections Commission, work with the ECC, and make sure that this process is free, fair, and transparent?
So we are a very, I mentioned this earlier, I would say again, we're a very small society. People are interconnected, people are interrelated, people are intermarried. And so we cannot say to anybody that we haven't had conversation where people ask you, which side are you going on? Our response always is, I'm on the side of the Liberian people, to make sure we all come together to ensure peaceful round two, and that we all can have a transparent, credible round two to move the country forward. That's been my posture, it's been my position, I maintain it, and I think that's most important right now. Even if the Liberian people don't know that's what's important right now, the Liberian people need to know. We need to know that this is important right now, because it's critical to sustaining our peace. And look, O'Neill, I know which side you go.
In the midst of our country first. So.
Oh, you can say country.
No, so what am I saying? They'll say typically, Very Yante is not the real typical Liberian politician, because this time, at the time of this table now, people will be looking at, where is she heading? I mean, which party she's heading going to support? I mean, that's a normal Liberian concept of the politicking.
So I heard that from somebody. as well. I was talking to somebody from one party about protecting people, and they said, "Oh, that thing you're talking, they're not truth you're talking about. Look, we just want to know which side you're standing on." So yes, I'm not a typical politician, because I'm not a politician. I'm a development humanitarian expert who has entered into the political space to not become a politician, but to continue to fight for Liberia's transformation. That's what I'm there for. So if I become a politician, I'll be only seeking myself right now. And that's not what it's supposed to be. I want to remain the person who I've been to other countries. I've been helping other countries to develop. I've been helping other countries to make sure that democracy, I have to do the same thing for my own country, and I will not stop doing that. I believe in the unity, the healing, the reconciliation of this country. I believe in nation building. I believe that we must come together as one people, in our democracy is critical to that. Our institutions for democracy are critical to that. So I'll continue to fight for that. I'll continue to work towards that. I will not stop working, because at the end of the day, the same effort I put into other countries, I had to put that same effort into mine. And so it continues. I always said during the campaign, October 10th is an event, but I'm not in here for an event. I'm in here for a process. And this process doesn't stop on October 10th, it continues. And this is just part of that. But can you opportunity also to say a very big thank you to all of those who voted for me. I think it's very important to this platform to do that. A very big thank you to those who voted for me. But beyond that, to those who continue to reach out after the vote, and some of the messages and some of the words of encouragement I've received, they're phenomenal. I cannot tell you how many young people have reached out to me to say that we didn't know that we had this, we didn't know that we could have this in our politics, and we're really looking forward to don't change, continue doing what you've been doing. That gives me the courage to be able to be my own person, and I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be the person that God has called me to be for my people and for my country, and I'll continue to do that. And you said something earlier, O'Neill. You said that you want that right now. All people want is which side you're standing on. And I'm saying to you, and I'm saying to Liberian people, we need to open our minds to understand that if we're always doing things the right way, things will be different in Liberia. And we'll continue doing things the same way and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. We need to start to open up our minds, transform our thinking. We are part of our thinking, our mindset. We can be anything we want to be. Liberia can be the best on this continent, but we have to decide we want that for Liberia. And it starts with peace, and it starts with us uniting. And so, going to the post on whatever date that will be in November. Thank you, O'Neill, for cautioning me that the date has been officially announced. Whatever that date will be in November, go into the polls, go there and vote your conscience, vote in peace, and ensure that some of us are working to support the system to ensure that it has the transparency, the integrity, and credibility that you desire. Because Liberians should be able to choose who they want and have who they want. Nobody should be imposed. And so just wanting to say thank you to all those who agree with the ideology, who respect the ideology, those who have been talking about it in different corners. Some people telling me, I was at LU and I talked about this protected vote. It's new to our politics. That's what we need. We need different. We need to start to think differently and see Liberia differently. This is not how Liberia is supposed to be. And all of us are responsible for what Liberia is, and all of us have to work
into the road. We shall then share your platform and your vision. Again, they say, well, Audio is bringing me back today. So for what I'm saying, you're going to tell your partisans, your supporters, those who voted you, well, it is up to you. You make your own decision. And I see your internet on the line. Meanwhile, help to protect your votes.
Let me say this. O'Neill, let me say this to you. I am an enigma. There's none like me. I'm unique. The decisions I make, the things I do, doesn't make sense to people. Who leaves being an assistant secretary general position, a global position, global power title that gives you financial freedom, that gives you financial liberty, but also that global respect and so forth? Who leaves that to come to enter into a race, into a system that you know you're gonna be giving some heavy blows, you know you're gonna be kicked on and so forth and so on? Who does that? Sarah Beslo-Yanti does that because she believes in Liberia, she believes in purpose. I'm a purpose-driven person, and I am intent to ensure that I am written down in history as one of those that contributed to the transformation of Liberia. Liberia will be transformed. It will be because all of us as Liberians decided we want a transformation. So you ask me who shares my view or who shares my platform. My dear, I'm an enigma. I am one of a kind. You get to know that I'm one of a kind.
Then share that.
I'm an enigma.
Any regret that you have to resign that unique? I mean, in a position someone wants to occupy us in the world and say, well, let me give a try in my country. What I've done in the Nepal, in Yemen, in other countries in the world. Those countries that are very difficult for a Black person to work in. I have transformed, and let me contest for the presidency. And any regrets when you have some sleepless night and dreaming about this? You mean this have happened, and this isn't playing.
No regrets. If I came into this looking at it from the perspective of I must have a position, is that position I'm after, then I would have regrets. But I came into it for the process and the people. And so the process is not just about that one day. The process continues. And the process continues until Liberia becomes a developed country. So no regrets. I'm contributing. Even this conversation I'm having with you is contributing to changing mindsets about what's required for Liberia. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's new. Again, I'm an enigma. I will continue to be a voice for transforming. It starts with transforming our thinking. It starts with transforming our thinking and transforming our mindset. What is best for Liberia is what we should be putting first and foremost. And Liberia's peace is paramount. We can't have sustainable development without sustainable peace. And it starts with us ensuring that the elections are coming up now, the round 2, that all of us work to ensure the Liberian people feel confident and comfortable. People are watching their votes when they place their votes, that is being protected. Many anomalies, many issues happen during round 1 that should not happen in round 2. So I'm calling on NEC to please take my recommendation. I propose a review with all of the candidates. So sit down and look at the irregularities. Look at the 100,000 invalid votes. Look at some of these issues. Look at some of the errors and some of the challenges faced, and also using that to inform how they implement round 2. This is critical, and it's for me, it's a non-negotiable. Everybody should want that. We should want a better round 2 than round 1.
Okay, I know going through this process, there are a lot of things exposed, especially when you're doing your campaign joining, visiting the various counties, in terms of the living condition of the people, the education, the what you said at the end of the election we come past go. What's really running to your mind in terms of coming back to engage some of the challenges?
The first thing that comes to my mind is education. In terms of the challenges in the field, there was almost no voter education. Parties were being asked to do the voter education themselves, so you automatically know that there's a problem. One of the challenges I saw up front with voter education, everybody was saying there's only one woman on the ballot, there's only one woman in the race, there's only one woman on the ballot. You go to the ballot, you're educated on the system. The first woman you see on the list is what you check, isn't it? If there's no voter education, if there's no voter education, you don't understand how to mark and so forth. So the voter education part for me is huge. The voter education part of it. And our people, the vast majority of our people in the rural areas not educated, they can't read and write. I think we've done a disservice to them not to give them the proper education for them to express their will. So just overall in terms of how things happen in the polling station, go into the details of it, but there are many issues in the precincts. There are many issues. One of my candidate friends, he voted for himself in a particular place, and that place said he has 0 votes. Like how he voted for himself, you know.
And the result says 0
for himself, 0 votes. There's one place where I had 197 votes. It came out that I had 0 votes. So there are many issues, but we can't have those issues to not our things and use it to improve. We must always be trying to improve. The moment we tell ourselves everything is fine is when we failed. And so we need to be open. NEC needs to be open. Everybody needs to be open for us to work on the challenges and work on the errors and work on the system. We need to have systems that work for everybody, not for some.
Yes, we need to have system that works for everybody and not for some. But the voice of from the ALL, the face of the ALL, well, very Sarah Basilianti. And of course, jokingly, I was saying to someone called me and said, well, Alex Gonti from Appleton Party now was not sure that the Liberia Grassroots Party was going to be registered. So he came to Liberia 1 week to campaign. You get what I mean? So even Appleton himself traveled to Liberia just 1 month to the campaign period. And this forced his way. I mean, Reverend Besolo, you have been here campaigning all along. So in terms of Liberian getting this awareness on the education process of how to vote, who are your candidates, like you make mention of someone voting for themselves and 0 vote coming out of that place, all of that. This runner, what's your take, your advice to the Elections Commission?
My advice to the Election Commission is to please implement the recommendation I've given for us to immediately, urgently have all sit down with the NEC, with the commissioners to look at all the issues we face in the challenges, the errors, and anomalies. Some of them can be fixed before the round 2. let's sit down, let's work on them so that we strengthen the electoral system. It's only at the point where you decide that everything is fine, it's when we start growing. Please, let's work on that recommendation to call us together to share with you all that we saw, all of the anomalies. If you really want to fix the system, you'll call us immediately to have that meeting that I'm proposing. And also, please keep all the documents. Please keep all the ballots, because they're all documents that can be they can be audited. So we're talking about audit, it's not financial audit. We're talking about audit of the system, looking at how everything worked from the beginning to the end, looking at where the came in. And so we use that to inform our 2026 by-election. We use it to inform our next presidential and general elections in 2029. If we want a better Liberia, we must want better systems. And to have better systems, we must improve on them by learning. This audit is about learning. Please keep all the documents, please keep all the ballots and everything. We can have an audit after the elections, but the immediate is to call for a review meeting with the candidates so we improve.
It's 10 o'clock, so we give you 2 minutes to close off, speak to your partisans, speak to Liberians, listen out to the ALL standard bearer.
So I said earlier a big thank you to those who within 3 months became part of my family, became part of who I am. Within 3 months, the amount of support and encouragement I received from across the country, amazing. Even to some places where I didn't make it, they were contacting me. They would listen to me on the radio and contact me and say, "We love your message, we love your ideology." Thank you. Thank you for that encouragement. We need to unite as a people. We need to come together as a people, because it's only in unity that we can move this country forward. So I'm encouraging everybody to please continue to exercise your right to vote, and please continue to exercise your right to vote in peace. Please ensure that when you go into the polls, you're voting for the person you want, and you're going home and you're remaining peaceful. I'm also calling upon the international community to work with us, to support us who want to work on this Protect the Vote, to provide an additional layer of monitoring that will give confidence in people that the results we receive after round 2 is the results that all of us should want to move this country forward. I'm calling up political parties who want to be part of Protect the Vote. So please, let's come together and do this. This is important. It's important for our peace. It's important for our future. We need to ensure that our young people see us leading by example. And it's only working together that we will move this country forward. We're too divided as it is, and there needs to be more unity, working together, cooperation. So people say this Protect the Vote thing is strange. We don't know it, and we don't use the opposition working together and so forth. We must. If we want to be a part of the solution, we must, because we cannot do it divided. Thank you so much, O'Neill, for having me today. And thanks to all of the parties that have been participating in the Protect the Vote. Thanks to all the political leaders who have given ear and have continued to engage. Even thanks, including Mr. President, listened to me on Friday. I went to meet him on the same thing of Protect the Vote. And thanks to all who have.
Now, two people going into it now.
Of course.
Now you make mention of George. We are now having
Friday. Yes. Friday. In fact, I met with one of the other parties from the Protect the Vote MOU. We met President Weah on Protect the Vote. And also on the same Friday, we had a meeting with Unity Party, where we 3 other officials from Unity Party, with all of the parties in the MOU who were available to participate. We had a very good meeting at the Cape Hotel, and all of it is about Protect the Vote. The same message to both of them was consistent. Let's work together to protect the vote. Let Liberian people feel confident that when the voting is the results are announced, that there were extra layers of monitoring that allowed them to have confidence in the process and in the results. That will help us to reduce any risk of chaos, any risk of people in the streets and so forth. This is about sustaining our peace and strengthening our
first. Okay.
Country first, Liberia first, always.
Break this voice from Reverend Sarah Besalayanti, closing us up on the Monday morning edition of the True Breakfast Show in the midst of all country first. Thank you so much. We'll be back on tomorrow. I've been serving breakfast since 7:30 this morning. The National Elections Commission on tomorrow have a regular press briefing. Thank you to the folks in Nima for relaying us. Atta Bolla, Ansu Sirleaf, my co-host Maka. We'll be back next week. On behalf of the entire team, my name is O'Neill Roberts. Until then, country first. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.